The first time the Wings of Freedom were supposed to come through Plymouth, it was rained out. For those who don't know, the Wings of Freedom tour travels across the country and features some incredible planes that actually flew during World War II. We were certainly not going to miss it when they rescheduled on a gorgeous sunny day in West Plymouth.
We've been touring every year since 1989. We go to about 40 states, 120 cities. Basically just a flying museum or barnstormers. We just pick up the planes and go to a new town every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We do flights for anybody who wants to come out. We started out just as a way for veterans to reconnect with their aircraft, but most of our veterans are about 100 years old, so we don't have that many left. And so it's about giving the past the future by getting kids out here. What we want is the kids to come out and talk to the veterans before we lose the vets, because you can record their stories, but at the end of the day, nobody's going to listen to them. The better thing is to get the kids out here to hear them themselves and then tell it to their own children in 10 or 20 years. Generally, when you go to a museum, they don't want you to touch anything. They want you to stay back behind the rope. There's nobody there to actually interact with and find out about the planes. But here, they can come out, they can touch the planes, they can walk through them, they can sit in the crew positions, they can watch it start up and hear the engines, they can get some oil on their hands if they want to, and they can smell the exhaust, and that brings it to life. It shows them it's not a video game, and it's not a movie, it's not a chapter in a book at school or something. It's real life, and it's really exciting, and it usually gets them at least interested in history, if not, wanting to become pilots or mechanics. And then it's really, really great if we're lucky enough to have a veteran out here. Like today, we've got a B-24 vet out here, Frank Tedesco. We've got a couple other vets out here, and they put up a chair underneath the wing and they start telling stories, and the kids come out there one by one and they just listen to it and they can ask questions. And it's not someone who memorized stuff. It's an actual veteran who flew on that same aircraft, and he could tell them anything about it. And a lot of times when you get the teens out here, he was just a couple years older than they are now, back when he was flying during the war. So it's some sort of connection we can offer them that a museum usually can't. I'm a pilot. I'm from Chino, California, which is pretty much the West Coast capital of warbirds, of a lot of Mustangs out there. I never thought I'd ever work with this kind of stuff. It is kind of like every pilot's dream to fly a Mustang, and it's everybody, they want to become a barnstormer. Like, there's nothing that could be better as a pilot than being a barnstormer, and this is surreal. I'm not just going out with an old biplane, airport to airport. We've got real, authentic World War II planes that we're taking from, airport to airport. It's something different. It's really unusual, and every day, even though I'm working every single day of the year pretty much, it doesn't get old. It's new people, new places, new stories from different vets. The people you get to meet, I've met several WASP, the ladies that flew during the war, which is really incredible. A lot of the Rosies that built these aircraft. I mean, women have come out here that might have worked on that very same B-24, and that's something pretty incredible. And it's just really neat to see all the different people. I mean, 4, 5, 6-year-old kids come out here, and they know even more about these planes than half of our pilots do. And it's just something it's really unusual. There's so many things you could do in aviation, but there's nothing like this, so it's pretty cool.